deep in the forest, a turkey's gobble resonates. This is what we came for. We have traveled to the remote hills of eastern Oregon to pursue wild turkey. As winter gives way to spring and the mating season begins, the call of the turkey attracts not only a potential mate, but also the hunters that pursue them. Harvesting one of these magnificent birds is one of hunting's great challenges. It requires skill, patience, and an ability to speak the language. But when everything comes together, it is truly a one-of-a-kind experience.
On this trip, we had 2 turkey tags and we only had 1 weekend to hunt. And so even though we had just driven 8 hours, we started hunting immediately. At the very least, we were just trying to get the lay of the land before Saturday morning. We heard a turkey gobble right as we got to the top of this plateau. It was right above a spring. I was pretty excited to hear a gobble, considering we'd only been hunting for about an hour. The gobble was a fair ways off, but we decided to set up right then and there just so we didn't spook the bird. After about 30 minutes or so, the bird was still gobbling, but he wasn't getting any closer, so we decided to move a little bit further into his zone. Our second setup had pretty much the same result as the first. We could hear the bird gobbling, but he wasn't getting any closer, so we decided to move closer yet again. In our third setup, the gobbles were now much louder and we could tell the bird was coming closer. After a few minutes of calling, we saw some movement in the trees.
Boom, baby!
The key to turkey hunting is patience. We just sat tight, we didn't move, and those turkeys came right in, and that was just an awesome sequence. This is a Jake, a juvenile male. There was a Tom that came in as well. We had 2 turkeys come in. The Tom hung up. He didn't like something about our setup. And the Jake, you know, he came that extra 20 yards we needed and got him. You know, if you like shooting the Toms over the Jakes, that's great. You know, we just like the thrill of the hunt. So Jake or Tom, I'll take it. That was an absolute thrill. I was wondering if Jordan could hear my heart pounding when I was sitting against the tree because it was pounding so loud. And when those turkeys were coming in, it was just like beating out of my chest.
Right on, man. That's awesome. Day 1,
Boom.
turkey down. Fantastic.
When we set up for trying to call in a turkey, one of the most important things that I think that you have to think about is where you're going to sit. You know, obviously sometimes we have like a blind that we can get into or whatever, but the way that Jordan and I hunt and the places that we hunt, you know, the turkeys are pretty spread out, and so we're constantly moving and trying new setups. And so when we try a new place, what we really look for is that, you know, where we're sitting is in the shade. The one thing that a turkey's gonna do is it's going to see you. Their eyesight is second to none. If you move a muscle, they will know. And so trying to make sure you're minimizing movement and also being in a place where if you do make a slight move, it's not as noticeable as it would be if you were in the sunshine.
I was really excited for day 2 because I was on the gun, but unfortunately got off to a really rough start. We woke up at 4 a.m. to a flat tire. And to make matters worse, there was a lock on the spare tire that I didn't have the key to. I'd bought the truck recently and they just didn't give me the key. Luckily, the hotel had a Dremel tool and I was able to cut the lock and change the tire, but not before we lost an hour of the hunt. With the sun already up, we decided to use the same strategy we did the day before. We were going to walk around and call to see if we could locate some turkeys. I was feeling pretty bummed having missed the morning hunt, but my whole attitude changed when we heard a turkey gobble not far away and had to quickly get set up. Oh my God, that was such a cool thing to witness. God, these things are so beautiful. That was so cool. it was so perfect because I was in that tree and he was strutting behind this tree.
Oh.
And so I was like, when he puts his head down, I'm turning on the camera. I did. And then he was just dilly-dallying behind this tree forever. And I was like, whichever side he comes out on, I'm shooting him. And he was behind that rock for a little bit. And then it was just, I mean, I was only right there. It was super close.
But you see this little depression here?
Yeah.
Like that's where he was standing.
Yeah, forever.
And all I could see from where I was just the little top of the fan. And I'm like, well, he's in range. You know, we must just be waiting for him to pop his head up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the second turkey of my life. First tom. The first one I shot was the Jake. This is a really nice tom. Turkey hunting is just, it's so intense. You know, it's the back and forth with the calls, and these birds are just so amazing the way they fan out and they strut, and to have one that close and to get him is just like, I can't think of a better way for this hunt to turn out.
What happened there never gets old. You never get bored of a turkey strutting in, not knowing you're there and coming to your call. Like, there's not much else in the hunting world that's like it.
I just felt so lucky here because he came right up the lane, like the lane where you hope the turkeys come up. He followed right up the tree line. He could have come over here, made it a big pain in the butt, but he didn't, so I got to witness all the strutting in perfect clear view, and that was just really, really cool.